Alright, what up everybody? So in this video we're going to be talking about how to make a third-person controller for our marble game. We have our marble game. How do we make a third-person controller? What does that even entail? A couple things that the third-person controller is going to need: ability to move, look, use abilities, interact with world, basic things: move, look, use abilities, and interact with the world. When it comes to a third-person controller, there's a couple of things that you might perhaps take for granted depending on what engine you come from, and the main one of those is the spring arm. So we have this cube, and if we have the camera here, the camera's looking out at the things. Anything that is in between here and the camera is occluding the camera. So for instance, if this camera is a little bit lower and this box is in the way, we can't see our player. So spring arm, we're going to make it to where that player is no longer being occluded, and it's going to zip them right out up, and it will feel good and seamless. But before the spring arm, we need the ability to look. All the floating and stuff, and there's some things in here that reload this. So this is the stuff that's responsible for the look. This is C#. I kind of get it, but I prefer C++, and one of the things that I want to do is do most of this in C++. I feel like there's a lack of people that just work in C++, and I know for me I would have liked more starter content and using C++. Let's get in. You'll just see the majesty of Flax and C++, which is called this player controller. Boom. Look at that, already there. So I just love that. Reload all, because we got our new things, and we go right here, game, player controller, boom. Love that. Then this one, I like to do it like this. My H, my CPP, and we can see we got tick update, we got tick fix. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn on our physics tick as well. Tick fixed update equals true. That's probably going to create an error. We're going to need to get that tick fixed. On fixed update override, and we need some of this. Don't worry, got it covered. There we go. Boy, our plate done. So because I'm a little bit cheating, I know we're probably going to need a lot of these includes that I'm just going to drag and drop in right there. So I know we are missing something because we don't have camera. So let me just show you this trick. First of all, we do this API field, and then we say scriptable object reference. This is a template, so let's just give it this as our type, and we'll just say player cam, and let's null pointer this to be safe. This should actually create an error. So when we go back in here, it's going to compile, it should create an error. There we go. And if we look at the error, well, I mean, here's the thing about C++. The compiler is the enemy, but I already know what the error is. It's, we don't have this include. As you can see here, in Visual Studios, you don't have the include. You don't want to go look through the docs to find it. Peak definition, copy full path. Include, drop that in there. I And we can see we got a bunch of things that we don't use, but all of these kind of start at the engine. So kill that, fix these slashes, Control S, let it build. What do we get? Done. And you're probably wondering what API field, whatever. It's a macro. I'm not sure how this macro is doing things, to be honest. It's a little bit above my pay grade, but what I do know is what this does when it's an API field. Let's say we go into player whatever. Here we have our script, okay? We got all kinds of things here. So for this, let's just check this out. Add script, boom, player camera. It indeed is the same thing, player cam. So camera rig, HPIV, VPIV, camera, boom, referenced. So now we have a pointer to that. Really nice, really nice. So a couple things, because I'm overly sensitive or something. If player cam equals null pointer, there we go. Not really sure if we need any sort of validation here. Player cam not. Wow. Player cam not found. Unfixed updates. We don't actually need to do any of this, but what we do need is some whatevers. We need some grippers, some little holdies. So for things like this, despite the fact that it's a little bit slower, I actually would prefer to not trust myself that much to do something like this. Player cam equals, let's do this here, get actor. So this is basically saying take this script, get the actor that's housing this script, and that way we're working with an actor pointer, so we can do whatever functions exist in an actor, which is nice because we also want to get child, which this is an actor thing. From here, text, not like that, text, like that, and we'll do, actually it's just spelled like this, that isn't particularly right, go like that, and we'll probably need a dynamic cast for this. It's probably saying something like, alright, you can't return this because this returns a whatever. So what we can do, if dot, we can just say that, then grab this, come down, we do this, get actor, text, then from here, we'll go like this, drop it like that, do dynamic cast to a camera pointer. There we go. So what we're doing here, scripting object reference, it really is working like a pointer. What I do know is this is the memory safe way of handling things like this in Flax, and you will crash your shit if you do things like raw pointer. Bad. You can do this. Don't get me wrong. You can do this. You shouldn't, but you can. The raw pointer is definitely smaller. It's half the size, but you're missing out on all of the nice Flax things that it does, and also it is not as safe, and I've had things not work. I've also had things raw crash because you could do this. And this is going to crash your stuff instantaneously. Check this out. Camera, don't use me equals null PTR. So look at this. You can assign a camera to that. You can do that. Again, you shouldn't. It's gonna crash your things, especially working through this thing. I've had some bad crashes because of that, but yes, you could if you are weird and just refuse to use this because of some sort of minimalistic approach to everything. Yeah. However, I'm not like that. I am going to use the scripting and object reference. Makes things easier, presumably. Let's actually get all the other things we need. Just copy this part. Actor, cam end point. Why? Okay. Cam target point. And PTR. Okay. That's the player camera setup. The next thing we're also going to need is, you know what? We're gonna need our HPIV. We're gonna need our VPIV. Okay. And we're also going to need this. I actually don't know if we're going to need this. We probably won't need this. Rigid body equals player body. We'll probably need this. Equals null PTR. I think this is good for our basics right now, except we'll probably want a couple of things like this. Instead of an actor, let's do a vector 3. Let's do a float, actually. And we'll call this move speed cap. Let's grab another one of these and we'll make this a float. Let's call this move speed scale. We'll just say this equals, I don't know, let's just do 100.0f. Oh, yeah, simple rookie mistake. These are pointers. That's not what I need. What I actually just need is this. Float. There we go. 7.0f. We'll set this to 100.0f. I do hate that I have to use these apps. I wish there was some sort of implicit compile thing that just removed them, because that stuff kills me. There we go. In here, we have all these things. So camera input, let's just kind of declare these. HPIV, VPIV, and rigid body. There we go. We're all rigged up there. So, in this update, this is uncapped. This is fixed 1/60. 60 FPS. So in here, I'm going to be putting in the mouse input. I think it will feel a lot better for the player because you intuitively are moving your mouse independent of frame rate. You know, like when you snap onto somebody, you are not tracking your mouse movement during that snap, you're just snapping. However, for the fixed update, I'm going to be getting the inputs from the keyboard. You know, the body has momentum, but the camera doesn't have momentum. So the first thing that we have is this. If we go here, we can see that the HPIV is actually not moving with the player. The camera rig is not moving. And I want to do this up here. We're going to do this. Cam rig equals null PTR. If we hit this rig, this one, camera rig. We have a lot of references. This probably isn't like the most optimized approach, but whatever. It is what it is. On this update, we're going to do this. Cam rig. This is a pointer, so we're going to use the overload. Set position. This is global. And so then we'll go and we'll say player body. Also need to overload that. Get position. And there we go. We've attached the rig to the player. Boom. What we do need though is we actually need to start getting mouse input. So let's call this float. Actually, I have that right. Float to mouse input. Another thing we need is float. Actually, let's put this one here. API field load mouse look speed is 1.0f. We'll just keep that there. Mouse input. And here we can save this mouse. Mouse input equals, and we'll make a float like this. Mouse input equals, again, more static functions, get access, and then from here we need this, but we're going to actually need another one, so string. And then the string is, here's mouse is actually capital, I believe. Let's see, this is actually working. Log, info. Okay, top of here. And if we run this, we can see we're getting some whatever. But there's some other things. For instance, our cursor isn't locked. So like if I go here, we can see that my head is moving, and honestly my head shouldn't be moving. So let's see if we can fix that. If we look at some CS, the free camera here, just gonna drag that right there so we can reference this. I know how they do it is somewhere around set cursor visible and editor me here. It took me a while to find the includes for screen lock and visibility. I put them up on the screen, however, while I was looking I kept coding, so if you notice a bit of a jump around in the timeline, I do apologize. Just throw the code in your update loop and it should work. So, HP set orientation. And what we want to do is we're going to actually just get orientation. Yeah, I think this is actually okay. And then in here we'll basically use 0.0f as placeholder 0.0f, 0.0f. So this will keep setting our orientation to, instead of this just being like this, we're getting a Euler and turning it into Contornio. So we're going to get an X value. For this, get orientation. Okay, it's not a pointer. Get Euler, then dot x plus, and we'll just this. Let's see how this looks. Okay, so that's working, right? Except we're on the wrong axis. So what we can do, we can just literally grab like that and try this axis. Yep, that's right. Battery smooth. Okay. Now we're going to do this. I'm using a better name. Set orientation. And then we'll basically, like honestly, this is honestly just vpiv. We'll come through here, we'll change all these to vpivs. And I believe this one should actually, first of all, be y, and it should be x, and we should go like this. Here, move it there, and let's see how that behaves. Okay, but for some reason we've lost our whatever. Why don't I do this? Perfect. We now have this, which is awesome. And then the last thing we can do is, when we get our input here, mouse input times looks we want input equals the mouse input times load speed. But if we come here and we change our load speed to 1, 2. So the next thing that we'll do is we'll actually make it all random. So what my plan is, pretty simple. I'm going to go like this. HPIV. Get forward. So we're then going to add this. Make sure we have that wrapped. Yeah, this is right. And then what we're doing here, we're basically doing the same thing. Get transform, and we're getting our right multiplied by -1. 0f, I think that's right. This here is basically our wish star. Except, for one, this is always true, which we don't exactly want. What we do want, though, we want this forward vector to be multiplied by whether or not we want to go forward. So what we can do here with this vector 2, we can do something like this. Input, get access, and we want this string, and this will be, what is it? Is it mouse X horizontal? Let's save that. I want to do input. We'll just copy this. We don't need to write all of it again. So this looks pretty alright. Vector 2, and let's wrap that, and then we just say movement input. That looks right. And let's just check to see if that's working. Let's see what we get here. Let's hop in the compiler, logs. What do we got? Okay, we're not moving. Our Y, okay. So that's my WS, that's my WS. This is right. So what we do, we just flip. And yeah, there we go. The X is simple. We're going to say move in input. So here we have our forward vector component. Multiply that by X of this. This is either 1, 0, or -1, or something in between. And we're going to do the exact same thing with this. As of right now, we should actually have a wish star. Let's see if we can make this ball. And now, if this is true, let's just check. So Claire wants to move there, Claire wants to move. Now we're done with all the validation stuff, we can actually go on to the simple part, theoretically. This could take forever, but let's actually add some movement. So player body, add, not force, whoa, you're just getting jumpy, add torque, boom. And let's just take Wisher and comma force mode. Let's do impulse. And we're also going to multiply this by a float of 100.0f. Just starting out. Let's see what we do. We are moving. Okay. We're going the wrong direction. Let's scale that to just 10,000 because I think we need 4. Alright, so unfortunately, this is my S key, this is my W key, so we need to change some of these values a little bit. There's a couple ways of fixing it. We could just swap this, but I actually think just grab this and we're gonna set it to a different part of that. Boom. Okay, that's my S key, and that's the W key. Okay, A key is not working properly. All we need to do right here is on our X, I guess. See, it's kind of confusing. What did I do? Yeah, sounds like it. Let's negative that, and then let's also take this, and we're gonna make that a big number because I am not moving. Let's see. Okay, and there it is. So moment of truth. Ooh. We're rolling with the camera. Our ball is balling. Ain't that just the way? Alright. Here's our player movement. This thing. Let's do torque. Right now, our torque power is this. Okay, so now we'll be able to change our torque power.